What's going on, guys? My name is Neve. Welcome back to AROMATIX, the most complimented designer fragrances literally ever. That's what we're going to be talking about, but before we do exactly that, hit that subscribe button and leave a like. It also helps with the algorithm. Most complimented #1. This is called a lot of oldies on this list, but goodies. And I mean, that would make sense, right? Some of the oldest fragrances, the most worn fragrances will be the most complimented. #1, well, it's not really a #1. It's not particularly numbered in any order. YSL Eau de Parfum. Shower gel, clean. I mean, this is like the fragrance, basically. It's got every aspect that I would personally, and a lot of gentlemen, look for in a fragrance. If you're looking to smell clean, just a little bit sweet, and everything nice and masculine, this is one to go. Wow, that was a pretty serious masculine. Masculine, this is the one to go with. You just came out of the shower and you smell a little bit like candy. Not too much though. It's not necessarily a juvenile smelling fragrance, has just enough blue and fresh to keep it from going in that realm. Just a touch of sweetness. In terms of the performance, this is one that honestly gives me above average performance. So anywhere from like 8 to 10 hours. You want to spray it on clothing, gentlemen, if you don't already. I highly recommend you spray it on clothing as much as you would on skin. In terms of the projection, this is one that's going to be moderate, but close to even the higher spectrum of that. So 2 to 3 feet of projection solidly for like 4 hours. This is an everywhere fragrance for the occasions, gym, school, office, dates. I've literally worn it to almost everything. Seasons is also versatile magnet. You could literally wear it everywhere. And this is probably one of the cases why a lot of these fragrances on this list are going to have that certain thing in common, is everywhere and every time means that a fragrance you're going to be wearing very frequently, hence more opportunities to be complimented. And this is a little bit more than just chance. This one actually smells really damn good. So for the price, everything considered, even at designer levels, I would say that this is absolutely worth it. Very nostalgic. I've worn it to the gym. I've gotten most of the compliments at like school and the gym with this one. So if you're looking for exactly that, a fragrance you can gift, most of these are going to be safe for exactly that, gifting or wearing every single day. Moving on to the next one, a little bit different on the spectrum. It's going to be a bit sweeter. It's called Stronger With You by Emporio Armani. Easily one of my most complimented sweet fragrances in my collection. This is chestnut, a little bit of incense, some vanilla, a sexy ass fragrance that has a lot more versatility than most people give it credit for. In terms of the projection or performance, I should say, longevity, I would classify this as beastly. In terms of the projection, it's high, which is above 3 feet. So basically, gonna be leaving scent trails and damn near a room filler. This is a great one. I spray it on around 8 to 10 times. I have no problem doing exactly that, honestly. And in terms of the occasions, you could signature scent this. It's not gonna be for everybody as a signature scent, but you absolutely can. Gym, school, dates, office, bros, whatever, man. It works. And that's why it's one of my favorite ones from the entire lineup or flankers. This, I would place it easily at #1. In terms of the seasons, I've worn it to every season, but I think it's going to be most appropriate for spring, winter, and fall, leaving it questionable for the summertime, maybe just the early summer days. But for the most part, keep it out of the summer. There are other fragrances that you can rock. Everything considered, even with that minor limitation of the summertime, this is 100% still worth it, will always be in my collection. And this is like my 3rd bottle, by the way. So a great one, and one of the most complimented fragrances. Something about that unusual chestnut sweet, the flirty vibe of it, that sweetness, and slight gourmand aspects that I think women just drool over with this one. It's a date night fragrance, and possibly why a lot of women have complimented me on this, because I've worn it to a lot of dates. But it also gives this like a masculine confidence level with a certain playful vibe to it that's approachable. Sexy ass fragrance, and easily one of the most complimented of all time. Next one is an oldie, but a frickin' goodie. It's the original 1 million. The most complimented out of the entire line, man. It's not like gonna be my favorite, but it is hands down the most complimented. When this came out, everyone was wearing it. Sweet and mandarin orange, maybe a little bit of aromatics, some leather. I mean, this is a phenomenal fragrance, even to this freaking day. I just sprayed it on tester strip and I was like, man, it's really nice to relive this. A bright, sparkling mandarin orange with the base of sweetness, almost like caramelized, I should say. Caramelized mandarin orange with this leather undertone, a beautifully blended fragrance. A designer that's honestly, it was ahead of its time. It started doing a lot of those bubblegummy vibes before a lot of people really enjoyed those. In terms of the performance, to this very day, it's still a beast, okay? It's still a beast. I spray this on at least 6 times, and that's what I get, is beastly performance, 10+ hours. In terms of the projection, it's also one that's high. So you're gonna find that in common with a lot of these fragrances. It's beastly performing fragrances that if you're looking for compliments, you're probably gonna end up veering close to. Unless you want more specific for date compliments, you get the idea. Beastly equals noticing. Not necessarily equals compliments, because you could have a beastly crap, but these are far from that. Yeah, anyways, back to the occasions. Everywhere. I've literally worn this everywhere and in every single season. Yes, it's another one that might not be best for summer, but you can get away with this a little bit easier than you can with this. Not as sweet, basically. I've worn it into summer, spring, fall, winter. It's had the longevity. It's had the compliments with this one was crazy. Everybody that I've ever been around when rocking it used to give me compliments. And I say used to because I haven't, rocked it in a very long time. The seasons, everything, or every season, and occasions everywhere. I still think, honestly, it's worth it because you can find it at like discounters. Not the newest scent in the world, but if you're looking for something that'll get you compliments, a daily fragrance to the office, whatever the hell you want to wear it to, man, this is still a good one. Yeah, sure, if you're not that beginner, it might not be the one to go for, but if you'd be surprised how many people are just now getting into the space and could potentially be watching this video. So if that's you, you should check this one out and you should grab this one because it's gonna do exactly that. You should live through what the fuck I lived through with this fragrance. It was phenomenal. Moving on to the next one, a little bit more polarizing, not gonna be for everybody because it has a little bit more of a Middle Eastern vibe, specifically incense, and it's Versace Dylan Blue. My second bottle of a King 7 ounce with a collection like this is absolutely insane. Also a signature scent of mine, rough, rugged, masculine patchouli, incense, and brox, and it's got like the Sauvage DNA that went to the Middle East, basically. Freaking love it. For the performance, initially it was like above average, but at this point, after it's sat, even this bottle, I get beastly performance out of this one. I spray it on 8 times though, guys. Like, I'm not afraid to spray it, and I can count maybe on one hand how many times somebody has said something negative about my fragrance, and it's more so somebody who has a condition, etc. So all things considered, phenomenal. The performance, damn near beastly. Let's just put it at the above average just for safety because I don't know if they reformulated, etc. But for the most part, it's treading close to the beastly territory. In terms of the projection, it is a room filler. It is absolutely a room filler, and then eventually it tones down into moderate within like 3 hours, and then, just like every other fragrance, they transition down. So room filler, basically. The occasions, everywhere. If you're very confident, you're masculine, you can even wear it to dates, man. That's kind of my vibe. I'd wear Sauvage Elixir to a date, and this is one that I would personally even rock. I have rocked to dates. And this is also another one that most of the people who have complimented me were like, Middle Eastern women, Oriental women, basically. It wasn't anything that like the masses gave me the compliments, but even then, that was beautiful. You will stand out even to this day when rocking something like Dylan Blue. To this day, you still will. It was ahead of its time and it still is. That's what I think about Dylan Blue. For the price, you can find it on discounters and it's almost like a cheapie nowadays. So yeah, definitely worth checking out. Signature scent, the occasions everywhere and the seasons everywhere. Dates, weddings, office, gym, school. You gotta spray it, accordingly, but it works for everything. Another one that damn near has women stuck to my skin when I wear is Aaro's Wanted by Night, the most complimented one from the Wanted series. It's got a contrasting apple, a little bit of sweetness. It's the whole fruity, sweet, ambery that's a little bit unusual that women absolutely die for. It's a beautiful smelling fragrance with performance that's, I would say, average. It doesn't really give me more than about 6 hours of total longevity, and the projection for it is pretty damn moderate, but wearing it for dates, it's perfect for exactly that. 2 to 3 feet with a projection for the first hour, and then it comes back closer. The occasions for this is going to be a bit more limited though. I would personally rock this for like dates or special occasions. I would not signature scent it or wear it to anything else pretty much. Seasons for this one is also going to be during the fall, maybe the springtime, during the spring night, and the winter time. So dates, this has gotten me some of the most ridiculous compliments ever. It's like, wow, you smell amazing, addicting, I can't stop smelling you, shit like that basically, you guys. And it's mostly because of that fruity top with the ambery dry down. It's almost like contrasting like sweet and sour is basically, or like you have like chocolate with a little bit of salt. It's those contrasting vibes that really just smacks next level stuff. So yeah, Aaro Wanted by Night, my most complimented one from the Wanted line. Maybe not my most enjoyed, but I still really enjoy this one because of that. Next one is Spice Bomb Extreme. So look, not only is it a bestseller, not only is it one of my favorite ones, but it's also my most complimented. And this is one that doesn't discriminate because gentlemen have complimented me on this, women have complimented me on this, and I've worn it literally everywhere. I have signature scented this during the winter time, and it's just the spiced vanilla, like vanilla ice cream with spice, cinnamon, and everything nice. In terms of the performance, this is one that I would personally say gives me above average. Damn near beast mode, but I'm just gonna put it above average because it would give me sometimes anywhere from 7 to 10 hours. In terms of the projection, it is absolutely high. So this is one that'll give you like 3 feet and some, basically, toning down later on in the 2-hour phase of the fragrance in itself. In terms of the occasion, I have personally signature scented this, but if you're gonna signature scent this, it has to be during the fall and the winter time. I worn it to the gym. I've gotten some of the most compliments at the gym, but I always felt like I was wearing maybe a date style fragrance at the gym time. So what you can do is a little bit different from what's most appropriate. But in terms of the occasions, I'm gonna place this one at everything. That's just how I feel about this fragrance, man. It's easy enough. It does have certain, factors of it that makes it more appropriate for dates. For this one, everywhere. You could signature scent it easily. I'm usually for wear what you want, when you want, and more appropriations. We can say that it's more appropriate for dates, but for Spice Bomb Extreme, I've worn it through a lot of days back to back, and it's been just fine. The seasons, however, I will say keep it to fall and winter. If you want this one to shine, if you want to wear it that often, definitely keep it to the fall and the winter time. And that's pretty much it, man. It will always be in my collection. And as I get older, I do find that it's kind of going a little bit more youthful for my taste, but it still will be in my collection. And one of my most complimented fragrances. Very sexy too. The compliments for this one was like Close Encounters. It was just like sexual ass compliments, basically. Simple as that with Spice Bomb Extreme. Next one, are you surprised? Come on, you really shouldn't be. Sauvage Eau de Parfum. So the Eau de Toilette did get a lot of people compliments, and it's understandable. It's very abrasive, punchy, lemon and Brox and peppers. But for me, the Eau de Parfum has been the most complimented one. A little bit smoother, more refined, maybe some sandalwood. It just smells like the better version of Sauvage. It smells clean, it smells fresh, a little bit peppery. There's nothing to dislike about this fragrance. The performance for this one is above average. I'm not going to call it beastly in terms of the total longevity, but the projection of this one was high. So the projection was slapping people left and right, just a little bit less than the Eau de Toilette version, but it kind of did it a favor, to be honest with you guys. The Eau de Parfum is absolutely better because it gives you a balance of longer longevity while still giving you a high performance, or high projection, I should say. For the occasions, everything, everywhere. For the seasons, every fucking season, period. This has got me the most you smell good compliments, like the most generic style compliments, but this one has gotten absolutely the most. Would I still wear it today? Yes, I would. Don't listen to the hate, especially if you're one of those who's coming in new. It works. It smells good. It works. Yes, there are better fragrances. Yes, I personally like Dylan Blue a little bit more, but it works. And if you're fresh and new in the space, get Sauvage. It's a perfect office scent, gym scent, school scent. You wear it, it's a no-brainer, numb-brain. You'll be an NPC, I suppose that's the term that they... Stop right there, criminal scum, whatever the fuck it is.
Stop right there, criminal scum. Nobody breaks the law on my watch.
But yeah, that's what it is. Skyrim, I think it's a part. Not a sponsor, but yeah. That's pretty much it. Don't need to go in depth. Clean, fresh, it's still amazing. Yeah. Mont Blanc Legend Night, you guys, is also another one that's gotten me stupid compliments. And it's actually kind of close to something like Wanted by Night does. So that contrasting apple, but this one is a little bit more crisp and a little more synthetic as well. But I don't know what it is, but they love that shit. That apple, ambers, vanilla. This is a bit more intensive in terms of that vanilla and the apple, the crisp apple. It's a lot more in your face, whereas Wanted by Night does go more ambery, etc. But this Legend Night has gotten a lot of compliments. Like, what are you wearing? I want to buy that for, like, my whatever. Or like, what are you wearing? It smells amazing. Or you smell really good. Shit like that, basically. It's very attention grabbing, zingy, crisp, etc. That's the one. It does, like I said though, does kind of smell just a little bit synthetic. In terms of the performance, like with a lot of the Mont Blancs, it is relatively affordable. It's not going to give you more than, I would say, average performance. So 6 hours tops, at least for me, but the projection is high. So it's not always, clear cut. The projection for this one is high. So above 3 feet of projection for like 2.5 hours. So you get what you pay for in a sense. I would say that you're paying, a fraction, but you're getting certain fractions that might be higher than the actual value, or you're still getting the value basically. In terms of the occasions, this is one where I would say special occasions and dates. That's pretty much what I would wear it for. I have rocked it to like gym and other inappropriate places, I would say, but I test my fragrances every day, and the gym is a part of my everyday routine. Seasons for this, fall and winter time, you guys. Maybe spring, the earlier days of spring or spring nights, but I would not try and wear this during the summertime. Do not try and wear it during the summertime. And that's pretty much it. For the price, it's absolutely worth checking out. If you like that crisp green apple, check that one out. Keep into consideration, it's not the most expensive smelling fragrance, but it still smells pretty damn good. Last but not least, this is like it's kind of similar to Sauvage, the Dylan Blue, the things that I wore every single day, but it has a certain higher end vibe to it. It's Prolom. And this kind of takes everything clean, more subtle. It's fabric softener clean with a little bit soapy, but also sweetened and elegant. That's the best way I could describe this. It kind of smells like luxury fabric softener. So you can kind of smell like the linen, the cashmerean style vibe, but it doesn't necessarily have that. Certain florals, a little bit of cardamom, and iris, basically. Soft touch, masculine, woody style of spice coming from that cardamom, and it's actually a projecting fragrance as well, to have that scent profile while still projecting and not really being sweet. Yeah, this is one of the must-haves to this very day, even if you're not a beginner. Timeless, classic, elegant, and it'll always be in my collection. One of my most complimented ones, and the performance for this is above average, sometimes even lasting to the next day, but I don't want to classify it as a beastly because it doesn't always give me 10 plus hours. For the projection of this, we're gonna place it at moderate, but it is important to understand that I've gotten crazy projection for the first hour almost every time I've rocked this, and it's because I spray it 8 times. I don't sissy spray, man. I spray it and it gives me above average, man, like, or high projecting, basically, over 3 feet, scent trails everywhere. But even for that moderately projecting fragrance, it's one that's gonna give you that scent bubble, the 2 to 3 feet classification, while also leaving scent trails. So it's a great fragrance. You get the value, you get the upscaled. It's like niche style quality, almost knocking on that door in a designer bottle, basically. An absolute must-have. I think every man should have this in their collection, and women have loved this fragrance. It has just enough masculine touch. The undertone of cardamom kind of smells like cedarwood to me, with that addicting ass spice. That's the attention grabbing, and then it just finesses everything with a clean signature, basically, that women love. Fabric softener, what woman isn't gonna love that? And for the most part, I've always felt like women wanted to get close or give you a hug, or it's that kind of vibe, like you smell really good type shit. That's the type of that type shit. That's the kind of compliments that it basically gets. Prolom, absolutely worth it, and absolutely one of my most complimented fragrances of all time. All of these are legitimately the most complimented to date designer fragrances. I have a lot of other designer fragrances that I absolutely love, and I will say that YSL's Myself deserves to be on this list, but in comparison to these are more complimented over time. So you know what, as an honorable mention, because it is newer and I haven't gotten to wear it as often as some of these, it still 100% deserves to be on this list. Maybe it's an honorable mention just because I haven't gotten to wear it as often, like I said, but Myself is one of the most complimented. Clean, fresh, also fabric softener, but softer than that, and having more orange undertones. Neroli versus orange flower. Softer, addicting as fudge. Addicting as fudge. That orange flower also projects like a champ, and this isn't a niche list, so I'm not gonna say all tear here, and that's technically still a niche fragrance. So yeah, YSL Myself, it does project, and so we might as well put it in this list. I was gonna say honorable mention, but it is like one of the most complimented fragrances, period. And if I don't put it in, where's Myself? Yeah, it is one of the most complimented for sure. This is an above average performing fragrance, 6 to 8 hours easily, or 6 to 10 hours, I should say. That's the classification. And the projection of this is high, and that's why it gets the compliments, man. It's those highly projecting ones, unless it's like specifically dates that gets the compliments. And that orange flower trail, something like crystallized. It's beautiful, man. It's genuinely a beautiful smelling scent profile. Also has like this fabric softener touch to it. That's a bit more towards the floral side of things, and that's pretty much it. In terms of the occasion, everywhere, anything, dates, office, gym, weddings, whatever you want to wear it to. It doesn't really stand out too much for weddings, but you could if you wanted to. And seasons, every. Yeah, legitimately every. They do have the Le Parfum, which will be more appropriate for like the fall and the winter, but for this one, you could wear it everywhere. Final thoughts on this one. It actually, although relatively newer release, quickly became one of the most complimented ones. I will say, however, though, that these other ones have a little bit more history and time to have stacked up some of those compliments, and this one is quickly becoming very much so worthy. Actually, it is worthy of being on this list. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Let me know down in the comment section your most complimented designer. I know it's hard to pick one, but just pick one, man, and put it down in the comment section. While you're down there, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.